Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 22nd day of July 2020. So, things are really hopping in Portland, aren't they? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Blessings to the wall of moms and the dads with the leaf blower and the naked yoga lady. Oh, yeah. Constitutionally protected speech here. We have the naked bike ride every year, down through Portland. Oh, my God. Well, we really don't. Portlanders, Oregonians are I hate to use the words rugged individualists, because in a way we're not, but at the same time we are, because we're environmentalists, we're hippies, we're all kinds of things, but the bottom line is that we don't like it when fairness isn't happening, and so we protest a lot. It's something that's expected. It's something that's welcomed. It's just who we are. If we don't like something, we're going to gather together and we're going to do something about it. We have a Republican congressman currently here in my district, the only one. Oregon's delegation is all Democratic. They're all Democrats. And other than this guy. And so he's never there. He never has town halls. He's retiring after this year. I don't know what we'll have over here. I hope it's a Democrat for once. I really do. Some things might actually happen. They'll hold town halls. You'll get to see them. You'll get to talk to them. We're on a first name basis with our guys. It's not, it's Senator Merkley and Senator Wyden and Congressman Blumenauer and Congressman DeFazio, but it's not. It's Jeff and it's Ron. I remember Ron Wyden when I was at Portland State in the 70s. Okay, he was hanging out with the Gray Panthers. He was dealing with senior rights. So I remember him from clear back then, right? And Merkley is of course newer, but Wyden's been around a long time in different public roles, and they're just great. But these are our guys. These are family. That's how we see these people. And so we have expectations of them. And so when some little ladies, with Starbucks cups in Bend, we're standing outside in protest out in front of Greg Walden's office. We had this biker guy, who's just, he rides a Harley. I know who he is. It's like, go home, man. Guarding the door, and it was locked. Like, oh my God, there are protesters outside. That's when Indivisible started, right? Indivisible Oregon started. And so they locked the door. They wouldn't let him in. They just wanted to deliver a letter saying, would you please hold a town hall? That's all they were doing. There's maybe, I don't know, maybe there were 20 people out there. Big protests for Bend, right? But no, we can get more people than that in protests. But it's just the kind of stuff we do here. All right. If it's possible to hold a sign up, we'll do it, right? To stand in solidarity with other people, we'll do it. So it's just who we are, and we're not about causing violence, although it can happen. You get some people that will do things like that. Some of them are actually from out of state that come in and do this. But right now, this is what's going on. And last night we had somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 people on the streets there in that protest. So if these thug guys think that we're going to stop, oh no, we're not. And now that you're there, started out, I think before they got there, I think it had dwindled to maybe 50 people at times. That's what I read. Not anymore. Because now you've given us a reason to be out there. You're going to tell us to go away in our own state when this is what we do here? Oh, no. We were the wrong place to start with. Because, when especially if you've seen the picture of the naked yoga lady, she's out there doing yoga. She's totally spread eagle in a pose, right? And they're all standing a ways away, right? But the bright lights of the police car are on her. or whatever it was. Maybe it was a minivan, whatever it was. And They just don't know what to do they? It's protected. Nothing's going to happen to her, except we're going to protect her and anyone else doing that. So yeah, this is Oregon. You had no idea, did you? Anyway, that's enough about all of us here in this state. I realize not everybody is involved in these kinds of things, but you get in the Portland area, it's just part of it. It's just who we are. We'll protest everything. And it'll be a fun event, right? I guess there's a street vendor that does ribs. He's got like one of the reporters says he's got like 66 coolers out there. I guess they're great. So, if you're down there, partake. Keep them in business. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get started. If this is your first time here, welcome. I chat a little bit while I shuffle, and then we go ahead and get started. We'll do 3 cards, and then if we need more, we'll take them. Otherwise, we'll move on to the Elder Futhark rune out of the bag here, and we'll close out with a geomancy rune. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting going forward. It's like I wake up, and instead of what did the numbnuts in the Oval Office do today, it's like, okay, where are we at with the moms? What do they need? How many are out there? And now it's the dads with the leaf blowers to keep the canisters of tear gas away, which they can't do because it's illegal to use it unless a riot has been called, and you better be careful doing that. Better be right. Otherwise, you can't shoot tear gas at these people like what's happening. Portland police can't. That's been outlawed. The nonsense that was going on with them, we've got issues in Portland as far as police go. Hopefully they're getting a handle on it. Maybe they're seeing how foolish they were when they can sit and watch how they themselves behaved while they watch these federal people doing what they're doing, whatever they are. See, now the Portland police and the sheriff's department, they can get a load of what it looks like when they're not the ones doing it and how bad that was. We've got people that are injured right now from these new guys, and one's going to need facial reconstruction. I saw a picture of him in the hospital. His face just looks terrible, what they did to him. Yeah. So, welcome to Portland, guys. Yeah, we'll love you to death. That's what we'll do. We'll educate you. We'll give you hugs. We'll hand you a sunflower. We'll tell you, no, now don't do this. And here's why. So, but we won't hurt you. We'll prosecute you. We'll sue you. We won't hurt you. We'll just stand up for our rights. That's all. I lived in downtown Portland when I was in college for like almost a year, and it was the most amazing place. So to see this now, I've lived over here for 39 years, and since we got married, we moved over here. And when our first child was 5 months old, and I don't know, to see something like this happen, even with our own police there in Portland, it's just terrifying. I can't believe it. It's just not how it used to be. And I realize things change over time, but to this, I don't know. I don't like to see this happen. It's a wonderful city, and we're going to it's going to go back to normal. It will. But right now, it's just scary. So everyone be safe out there today. Let's go ahead and take our first 3 cards. Oops. 10, 11, 12, 13. I take the 13th one each time for randomness sake. We start today with the 2 of Wands. Kind of waiting for our ship to come in here. Wands is the fire element. It talks about our will, creativity, the spark of life. More Wands, the 4. This is a fun card to interpret. I like this one. See if we get a 6. Get a 2, 4, 6 run. like patterns in tarot. Oh, I got even better. 7 of Swords. Okay. We're going to put that in the middle. Oh, I guess I need to get this out, don't I? Although I don't really need it. But I have my notes up and I forgot to get them out. I thought my whole area looked weird here. It's like, what's missing? So, okay. Let's go ahead and I think I will. I think I'm going to leave the 7 in the middle. You can move your cards around to make it make sense to you. Even in regular spreads like the Celtic Cross or past, present, future. I mean, there's times, when you want to leave them as you pull them, but that going into it. You're going to set that intention going into it. So, but here we're just looking at general influences, and so I want it to tell a story of what that is. And so I think I do want the 7 in the middle. The 7 really is about balance, balancing spirit with ego, really. It's also about magic, original creation, all of that. But the septonate universe, everything is in 7s. It's also in 3s and 12s and 4s, but it's really about 7s. That sounds odd, isn't it? But it is. I mean, you've got the universe is septonate. It's a 7 type of energy, and multiples of that. Because you're talking about, say, the 7 sacred planets, the 7 cosmic rays. There's just a lot of 7s. Well, 7 is also about balance. If you think of it in terms of the scales, you've got 3 here, 3 here, and 1 in the middle, okay? So in a sense, what we're talking about here, I'm an author, and so I always used to think of this as theft of intellectual property, because the swords, it denotes the air element and our intellect. Justice, reason, fairness, balance, but communication, interaction, all of that. So you see the line of demarcation right here. And so he's on this side of it, okay? And on the other side, you've got the king and his men, or just the men. But oftentimes, the king would travel with them. But if it's just the knights out and about, pillaging and doing whatever, they're getting ready. All right, they're over here. You can see them over here. The rest of them are in their tents, but they're dumb enough to leave their armaments outside. All right, and we can look at them that way, as swords, or we can look at them as strategy in the battle plan. They leave it out there for everyone to see. They're not stealthy about it. They're so arrogant that they're out there doing well. I mean, it's similar to what the DHS guy Wolf said yesterday about was it yesterday or day before, about proactive policing. We think they look suspicious, so we're just going to take them. We're not going to Miranda them. We're not going to read them their rights. We're not going to say that they're arrested. We're going to put a bag over their head. We're going to take them away in a minivan, a rental vehicle. There's not going to be any insignia on. Oh, we don't want anybody knowing who we are. Well, that's not how we do that, right? It's arrogance. It's putting themselves out there to be arrested, really, and to be prosecuted. They can't do this. This breaks the law. And it's so bad. I mean, it's massive, and that's what we have here. Because we have a group of guys that are going to come and attack this town. This little village, basically. And maybe this guy had infiltrated the group. Maybe he came and brought food, But now they've gotten comfortable with him, so now he can go and he can take their strategy away from them. And he doesn't take it all. But he has to take most, because if he doesn't, you see, the town doesn't have what it needs to protect itself, right? And so part of protection is knowing what the bad guys are going to do. So you could argue then that the others, if we're going to look at it in this regard, and I just like to look at tarot as to what's happening in our lives at the moment, and this is happening, it's huge, right? Because now they're going to send these goons to other cities, supposedly. Portland's the pilot program. Right, with the naked yoga lady and the moms with sunflowers. You think you're going to do a pilot program of abuse and oppression and obstruction and violating our civil rights in Portland? Well, we'll take it. Because while we're occupying you, the other cities, the other mayors, the other governors of the states, the other AGs, the other U.S. attorneys are watching. They're seeing what you're doing. They're going to prepare. You know, there really is no other place like Portland. There really isn't. And I know because I lived there. And it's just, there's no place like it. The things that are constitutionally protected, naked bike riding, the naked yoga lady, protected speech. Been to court. We can do it. No question, right? Doing what we do to protest all that we do, it's all protected. It's expected here in Oregon. It's what we are here. We are activists, all of us, in one way or another. We speak up. It's so coming to Portland, they don't know what to do with us. They really don't. We had like 50 people out, I read. It had dwindled to just a handful, essentially, of 50 people. And there's a handful of protesters here. Really, I mean, seriously, it is. This is a small number. It's just like maybe, like a picnic or something, because it's usually what it devolves into. But anyway, the point is now there's between 2,000 and 4,000 people protesting last night. So welcome to Portland, guys, you idiots. What do you think you're doing here? You think you're taking our city from us? Oh, no, not at all. So you hang around tonight, maybe there's more. Tomorrow, maybe there's more. But they're ready. So this isn't just having to do with the town next door that they're going to go and attack and pillage and plunder. No, this is everyone's getting it together and leveling the playing field. Understand the strategy that's going on today. Keep your own counsel. Do what you need to do. Let them do what they need to do so you can see what it is, right? Here, a merchant of some kind, a man of means, holds a globe in his hand. He's got his staff in his left hand. There's another one that is affixed to the I don't know if you call that a parapet or something or other. It's up at the top of the castle, and you've just got these cutaways, and you can stand there and look out, whatever that's called. That's affixed to the wall there. You can see that right there. So that's some structure. That's some established stuff that he's done. But realistically, he's out there. He's done what he needs to do. He's made his preparations, and now he's waiting for his ship to come in. In other words, he's waiting for the fruits of his efforts to come out, right? So you can think of it in terms of a project or what have you. But you also see, in a sense, he's stepping through a doorway into new experiences too. And what can be. There's balanced effort here. That's with the two. So he's sure of his purpose. It's been established, and he's now waiting. Here we have the Four of Wands, though. And it seems like in each one of these cards, now, not so much visible with the two, although you can kind of see the line of demarcation there. It's almost like we have, with the Seven, we saw it here. That was then, this is now. All right. Again, that was then, I did the preparation, and now I'm waiting for the fruits of my labor to happen. In a sense, here you could interpret this as waiting for justice, waiting for balance to return. We're going to have to do it together, though. We can't just simply wait. But there may be times when we have to. So if we think of the 7 in that regard, we're balancing waiting with intentional harmony with others. We see the line of demarcation here, and the 4 poles, the 4 staffs, you've got 2 on each side of one another, right? You've got 2 and 2. So in a sense, in a marriage, what you have there, because that's what we've got there, they're holding 3 bouquets up, mind, body, spirit balance. Now that they've come together, there's a balance between them. There's an integration between them, right? But prior to that, each one had to align their own polarity before they could then, you see the crossed garlands up above, reminiscent of Gebo, the 7th rune, again, of the Elder Futhark. But it's balanced energy exchange with others. If you could see that 3rd arch on the bridge there, again, mind, body, spirit balance, you see the group of people over here, very different than the group of people over here. These guys there, you know, they've got arms, all right? They're planning something. They're either coming back, you know, to the tents after they've already done something to another town, or they're planning for the next attack. But here, they're milling about because they're there to support these 2 people that have married. Both inner harmony and outer harmony are being threatened by oppressive forces. When you talk about the 7 and we're talking about balancing the shadow side of self with spirit or ego with spirit, inherent in that is deception. So you're having to try to figure out what's going on here too with the 2, trying to discern what's happening. A lot is at stake. He's holding a globe in his hand. So a lot is at stake. But we can't always wait. Because sometimes we do. Sometimes we have to retreat. In today's esoteric influences, let me go and find this. What I said for today, how I interpreted today's energies were your innovative side may attract some attention today, particularly if your leadership fosters creative solutions. That could be this guy. Perseverance is favored, as is a sense of duty, especially if the situation is less than clear. Be prepared to correct course if sensitivity is required. The sensitivity is not necessarily sensitivity to the feelings of others. It's sensitivity to what's going on and understanding intuitively when something's up. It's not just getting a clear picture, because here you can see he's up high, he's getting a clear picture. He needs to understand the balance of this. That's another way to look at this. The efforts that he's made toward preserving the peace aren't working. In other words, when you have people in authority ignoring law and making it up as they go along because now they think they can, well, no, they can't. Guy in the Oval Office thinks that I can't remember what this had to do with. I think it had to do with DACA, but I don't remember. But I remember thinking, oh, you think you can just bypass Congress? You've got an Attorney General, Barr, who thinks has discovered a way where he can circumvent Congress and get the president just to enact whatever laws he wants to. Well, you can't. That's not how that works. Basically, what he's trying to do is turn the presidency into a kingship. But it seems like we fought a war about that. Remember, 1776, right? The War for Independence. Yeah, we don't want that here. But for whatever reason, you've got a dominionist in the AG's office who thinks that now everything's got to be religious oriented. But whose religion? Who decides that? Is it him? Is it Opus Dei? Because I guess that's what rumor has it. He was on the board of Opus Dei. Think about who's there. Think about what their mindset is. And then all of a sudden things make sense, right? Well, it's kind of what you're doing right here. You're trying to deal with the strategy involved. What are they doing and why? And you got to figure that out. And sometimes you got to get above it all, like in the 2. But at some point, you got to come together in shared purpose, and that's what we see with the 4. Once the issues of the 2 are resolved, let's do one more card, though. Again, we have a lot of things happening right now that make zero sense. We have a constitution. We have a Bill of Rights. This country is supposed to operate within that. Sure, we might argue about what the interpretations are from time to time, like this weird interpretation of the Second Amendment that actually isn't real. It's not stuff. Oh, no, there's nothing in there that says you can have an AR-15. Nothing. Sorry. They can say what you can have. It's that simple. Let's do one more card. See if we can come up with a little more information here. Because you can't stay in the 2 forever. You can't stay there, because if you do, you're going to be actively waiting forever. Sooner, at some point, you've got to do something. And I think that that's what they're saying what we're saying here in the 7. It's time to level the playing field. Make these people that have infiltrated your area or are causing you grief, make them understand what the truth is. Be able to know their battle plan, know their strategy, so when you don't have the same level of power that they have, you got something else. You know what they're going to do ahead of time, so maybe you can set things up to minimize their effect. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, our legacy is affected. I love this card. You see an archway, the couple and their child. You see the child way over here, just behind the dogs there. One of them is likely, a child of the man sitting there, the old man sitting there. The families come to visit. But the archway denotes transitions, right? You go through the doorway into something else, or go through the archway just to new experiences, leaving one thing behind. It's like a Degas moment, where it's like a new day is dawning. But it's one that gives an eye toward legacy and family. Here you see the tree of life expressed by the pentacles there. You see all the abundance around the man, the grapes. He has so much to share and so much to give. There's so much at stake. And for authoritarianism and dictatorialism and sadism to come into this country in such a profound way with respect to the policing, that all began, though, I think anyway, now others may disagree with me, but I think that all began when you had the militarization of the police, when the Bush administration decided the thing to do was to share the stuff, the military hardware and stuff. So all of a sudden, they got all these great toys, right? Problem is you become that. And you've got police now that are behaving so abysmally, so badly. They're dangerous. And it isn't all of them. Problem is we don't know who they are now, and we don't know who the good ones are. And that's why they want to remake the police department. When they say defund the police, they don't mean get rid of them. It means get rid of this garbage that they've got. To think that a police department is a multi-billion-dollar agency in some states, in some cities, like NYPD is. Why? Is it because there's so many of them, or is it because of the stuff they have to play with? Yeah, something's wrong here. And it was a shift in mindset. There's always been bad cops that'll beat people, that will harm people, that will rape women. There have always been this. It's just, it was, as opposed to most of them. And I don't know that it's most of them, but it's what it feels like. You look at how they behave out on the streets during these protests. All they're doing is walking. It doesn't mean you come up and beat them. They're not doing anything. They're not harming anyone. They're walking. They're marching. You don't come up and beat them and spray pepper spray in their faces like you're Dog the Bounty Hunter guy. What are you doing? They used to do that. They had those canisters of pepper spray, and they'd I'd seen their show back in the day, and that's what they would do. They'd just spray people with it. And it's like, okay, but what are you doing? I don't know. I could never understand some of the way. I don't get the violence. I don't get the violence. But anyway, what we have right now is our legacy at stake. Who are we? It's time to begin again, I guess, and redefine that, or re-up it, reassert it. Because they're seeing it in Portland. It's like, oh, you think we can't protest? Watch. Yeah, we will. Because now we're going to protest you. There's a lot of chaos in the federal level. It's trickled down to the states where some of these governors won't tell their people that they have to wear masks when they go out. They won't have a state mask policy. If you don't do that, your people are going to die. It's very simple. They're going to get sick. If they live through it, they're likely going to have issues because this damages the body. It does. They're seeing it now. So there's that, and then there's all the protests that are going on and need to go on because of what's happening in this country. We have Sewillow again. We had that yesterday. The light of spirit and the will. But the will predicated on spirit, not ego. It's spirit informing the ego, transmuting ego. And you don't do that by getting down in the muck with the ego. You do it by raising your frequency and focusing on spirit. You see things through a spirit mindset. It's almost like, it's like counterintuitive to say spirit mindset, but it's the infusion of spirit into mind that really makes the difference in how you see things. Do you see a brother or do you see the other? Everything you see around here, everyone you see is the other side of self. And we forget that. The world that we envision, each one of us is doing that. And they're overlapping. It's the many layers that we experience. Not just our own vision, but the vision of others as well. If they're competing, well, you can see where conflict can happen. But, was it to collectively raise the frequency of the planet at this time? Did we all come here to do this? And this is just how it's happening. I don't know. But something is amiss here, and we're trying to right it. We're trying to right it by standing up and protesting. We're trying to speak truth to power so that we can all come together on a shared path. While the guy in the Oval Office dismantles the country. And for those of you who thought that was going to be a good thing, oh, no, you were conned by a master con artist, and whoever his master con artist benefactors are. Now, this country got played, folks. That's what happened. We got played. Some of us knew it, but not everybody did. And whatever they did to manipulate those, 4 states in their vote, yeah, I think we're going to, Jimmy Carter said this. He doesn't believe the results of the election. I don't either. I don't at all. So, yeah, we got Fortuna Minor today, so we may make some progress today. The Geomancy rune is Fortuna Minor. If you had a chance to watch the Geomancy series I did over there on the YouTube channel, I did a 3-part series on geomancy, so if you want to check that out, you'll know a little more about this. I do talk about it, though, here, since I do this here. So I've given you some information about what it is, but Fortuna Minor is part of You got Fortuna Major and Fortuna Minor. Fortuna Major is going to be big gain, big profit, big success. This is going to be baby steps. So progress along the path. So I suspect today, I don't know if this indicates that we're going to see an end to the thugs in Portland today, if they're going to leave today, or if we're going to make some progress in that regard. But they need to understand that they need to get in their rental cars and leave. I don't care how you got here. Just however you got here, get out. And I don't care how you do that. Just go. So hopefully that will start to happen. The other thing this could this could indicate as well is maybe we're going to make some more progress along the way in terms of staying safe from the virus. Maybe you're going to start to see more people wake up to this and understand they have to wear a mask when they go out. I wear a mask and gloves, so does my husband. And I don't care where we go. If we go up to the mailbox, if we have to leave the property, my property is separated into two sections. I've got a 3-acre section and then roughly a 2-acre section, or maybe it's 3.5. I don't know what it is, but anyway, just think 3 and 2. All right. And in the 2 section, we're behind. The whole property is anywhere from 7 to 8 foot fencing. Some of it's actually 8-foot game fence, and what separates the two sections of the property is an 8-foot game fence. Now, that we did that because we have deer that come in, and this way they don't. And I can't believe it. I don't have deer on my property for once. It's so cool. I mean, I love them. It's always fun to watch them they had their babies here. I would have I don't even know how many new babies here every year. All these moms and babies were in my backyard and on my property. But anyway, and sometimes the bucks would come in. Oh, gosh, they were gorgeous. We had one that threw twins every year, and one year she had 2 boys. And they get annoyed because my husband would turn the sprinkler on and they'd be trying to nap under the shrubs and they'd get wet and they'd be all irritated at him and stuff. But anyway, I'm just glad they're gone. But anyway, if I go into the pasture part, if I leave the compound area, and yeah, there's a lock gate down there, the compound area. There's also one up at the top of the property. I actually have 4 lock gates on my property. But if I go into the field, I take a mask with me, just in case. If someone stupidly comes on my property without my permission, comes past the lock gate, somehow gets in through the freight gate, then I have to have a mask, right? So I can have it on when I tell them you're trespassing and get off my property. I don't know who you are. And so people know they can't just come on the property without talking to us first. And those who do get told, in no uncertain terms, to leave. But if I go up to the top of the property where my gate is, I got to cross the street to go to my mailbox. I'm going to have a mask and gloves on. I used to take alcohol in the very beginning. I take a spray bottle of alcohol with me, so I spray the mail down before I even bring it down to the compound area. But that's what I do. I don't trust any of this. We don't know enough about this. It's changing all the time. I suspect, we know it's extraordinarily contagious when you're just asymptomatic. You don't even know you're sick and you're giving it to everybody. So folks that don't wear a mask, good Lord, what are you thinking? What, you don't believe science? Well, go to school. Learn science. You'll see, it's valuable. Don't be stupid about this. Wear a mask. But that's what we do. And I just think that, whatever the Fortuna Minor is about today, see the progress that's being made and build on it. That's the whole point of it, so that it can then eventually emerge into the Fortuna Major that it could be, right? So again, stay vigilant, stay positive, stay focused on the goal, which is to remake our country in a way where people are safe from authority. Our constitutional rights are protected from authority skitzing out on us and doing things that they legally cannot do, all because they want to be the people in charge. Oh, look, I've dealt with that in my personal life, where people think they have authority and they don't. And the damage these people do is profound, all because they want to have tunnel vision and they don't want to see that there was something that happened before that established the rules. And because maybe, that's no longer clear because someone made it unclear. Now all of a sudden you've got people saying, oh, I can do what I want. No, you can't. Well, it's the same thing here. You can't have a president and whoever he hires in his cabinet to then go and upend the rules and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the laws the states have and all of that. They can't simply come in and say, oh, no, not doing that. We're going to do what I want. That's not how this works. It's not how it works anywhere. And when it does, you have anarchy. But it isn't the people in Portland that are the anarchists. It's the people in Washington. It's the guy in the Oval Office and his minions. There's the anarchy. So, perspective matters anyway. I think that, again, the bottom line of this is for us to make any progress here, we have to understand the 7 is the key of this whole thing. Level that playing field. Understand what's being done to us, and then plan your strategy accordingly so that they can find no purchase when they get there. The other cities are already doing it. Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, has already said, yeah, no, you're not doing that. You've got Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, saying, oh, no, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. So they're planning, right? They're planning to keep their cities and their states safe from the thugs here and here, who've decided that they can defy the Constitution and defy the Bill of Rights and defy states' rights and defy everything that we hold dear. And the anarchist in the White House can then come and visit all this crap on people. No. Our legacy is too important. Who we are is too important, and who we are to one another must be more important than this. So, that's enough for Protest Tarot for today. Oregonian that I am. I was born in California, though, and I lived in Alaska, and we moved here when I was just 10. I was almost 11, and I don't know, I fit right in. Little witchling that I was. So anyway, that's the thing about witches. We're activists, all of us, in one way or another. I don't care if we're quiet about it. We're gonna find some way to manifest that and to speak truth to power and to say no. Everyone's rights are going to be preserved. Whatever you think a witch is, that's what a witch is. So anyway. Thanks so much for watching. I don't know if I'm going to I'll put this up on Instagram or not. I might. We're at like almost 44 minutes, so I think they'll take it. I think you have to just be under an hour, between 30 minutes and an hour or something. Or no, that's somewhere else. Or maybe it is that. I don't remember. No, I think it's maybe 15 minutes. Or no, I think you can do any length video on Instagram. Anyway, it's just on Pinterest business you can't. That one you have to be under 15 minutes. If you're 15 minutes, they won't take it. So on Esoteric Influences, I always watch my counter and I start talking rapidly if I'm in the 14-minute area. It's like, oh no. Anyway. You guys have a good day. We'll talk tomorrow. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. Wear a mask if you go out. And blessed be.